Hello, welcome in, welcome on in. It's 48 of the Digital Quill let me backtrack and rewind because that was a really crappy start. And my throat has a frog in it, so my apologies. Hello, and welcome on into 48 of the Digital Quill Podcast, episode 48 of the Digital Quill Podcast with your host, Mars Wilson. How are you guys doing today? So today is kind of sort of a little bit about social media. On this week's topics of niche topics of episodes where I'm trying to stick to primarily one subject and one subject only. I think I'm doing pretty good alright so far. I'm honestly really not sure. Doing my best here. Doing my best to kind of feel this out and figure it out. But anyway, social media, right? So we're all on it. If you're on this right now, watching or listening to this podcast, there's a good chance you probably discovered it because of social media. I'm almost everywhere, but also not at the same time. So check this out. Hold on. Check this out. There we go. This is, as I've mentioned before, my Facebook. I have been on Twitch, or I am currently on Twitch, kinda sorta-ish. Let's see. I have my Twitter X, or X, formerly Twitter. Renaissance Sim, Jack of all trades, and a master of few. Let's see. I have one of a few Instagrams. My TikTok, of course, and also, of course, my other TikTok. Technically my other TikToks, but other TikTok. I of course have my Substack and my Unsealed and my various accounts across other things now. And as you can see, a lot of social media to juggle. I don't like juggling it. That Facebook is one of 4 Facebooks, maybe 5, could be 6, I don't know. At least one of 4, that's for sure. I don't like social media. I know that's it seems weird to say given how much of it I have, and given where I started with it. And, eventually, yeah, I know I've probably talked about it before, but eventually, yeah, I'll end up with Blue Sky and Rumble and Threads. What else is out there? That one politically inclined one, I think it's more red. Social something. Truth Social? I don't know anymore. There's so many. You got the TikTok, you got the YouTube, you got the YouTube Shorts, you got the YouTube Music, you got the Apple, you got the Roku, you got the DeviantArt, the Flickr. Is Flickr still around? You have Reddit, you have Tumblr, Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, X, formerly Twitter. Let's see, what else do I have written here? You have so many social media options now. I can't keep up with all of them. So many of you exist in only one place. So many of you exist in all of the places. Some of you exist in half of the places. Some of you hate the other half. Some of you hate all of them. Some of you hate very specific ones for very specific reasons. And I kind of get and understand all of where you're coming from, every single one of you, because I've listened to some of it and I've heard you out and I've taken on the opinions myself and other stuff and this and that. And my own is all of it is stupid because it's not being used in the right ways. It is not enhancing human beings' well-being, their mental being, their spiritual being, their physical being. None of this stuff is actually helping. As a matter of fact, some of it is just a band-aid for bigger problems. Some of it is, a giant, big Grand Canyon times 2 size of a problem because of what the problems it's created. We could literally talk about advertising and botting and dividing and echo chambers and bad information and fake news and checking your sources and rechecking your sources. And then we could literally talk about all of that anytime, all the time, anywhere, anyhow. But what I want to actually really go in on is this. It's all stupid. All of it. Social media itself is dumb. It's not being used how it should. It really isn't. And I'm going to freaking stand on that belief until I die, probably, or until the system itself, amongst many other systems that we know and have come to either love or hate, need to change too. And so maybe they will in my lifetime. I don't know. I hope. Oh my God, do I hope. I hope every single day. But, that is my very heated take in 6 minutes or less about social media and why I hate it and why it's dumb and why I have a lot of it and don't really want to, but it's the way things are, so I kind of have to. End of rant. Now, let us talk about my beginning, because I didn't start on the Facebook or TikTok. DeviantArt. 2010. No, wait. DeviantArt, 2011. Maybe 10. Could have been 10. Some of you might have, or some of you from my early Facebook might remember me from my DeviantArt days and my early Facebook days. One, I am sorry. I am sorry. I was probably not a great person. And I'm probably still not really a great person. I don't know. I don't really claim greatness, even if it is thrust upon me via words. I do not claim it. I claim learning and trying new things and figuring things out. And that's why I have social media in some way or another. But DeviantArt is where I started. I started posting the pictures I would draw and poems and stories I wrote, because DeviantArt had a writer's area. It wasn't very big or popular. It was mostly digital art and hand-drawn stuff. Photography, which I did also start doing at some point. And of course, writing and stuff, which I think that might have been where the more spicy stuff started. I don't know. I only remember 2 of the usernames I used, and I don't even think either account exists anymore still. I don't know. I remember I wasn't able to find one because I couldn't remember my first email, which was right before my longest standing email, and that it's a whole thing. It's a whole social media password Google account might not exist anymore issue and debacle. I don't know. DeviantArt and then Facebook was next, social media wise, because I was going into high school and I asked some of the friends I made. I asked one friend in particular because they were a grade ahead of me. I think they were a freshman when I was in 8th grade, and I was like, it's the summer of my first year before my first day of high school. I don't really have many people to guide me through this stuff because I don't have siblings. I don't really have a lot of peer people who are gonna hold my hand the first day and make sure I don't have a fucking meltdown in the middle of the entire campus parking lot. Anyway, I was like, should I get a Facebook or something and start learning stuff? And they're like, yeah, I think getting a Facebook might be really good for you. And at this point they kind of knew me because we had many a Skype call and stuff like that. So we were actually friends. And I was like, okay, fine, I'll get one. And I got one, and super nervous my first day of high school, as can be. I actually may have texted and or called my mom a lot when we did have a good relationship sometimes. And yeah, Facebook since then has been a fun documentation of my life in a weird way. in a very weird way. I used to post often, daily, much. Now, not so much. There are periods, long, extensive periods, you can actually kind of tell it's kind of funny, where I would deactivate. I might still do that now. I can't say for certain, but so far, my accounts have been mostly up without deactivating. So far, kinda. I don't like social media. I'd rather not look at it, and deactivating is how I stop looking at it, so goodbye. Out of sight, out of mind. Do not think, do not care. I fucking hate Facebook. Anytime I log into it on my desktop or on the browser of my phone, I'm like, fucking fake book. Can't believe I'm logging into you again. Logging into fake book again. I kind of just use it to document, and I kind of sort of want to monetize it, but at the same time I don't, because like there's like different tropes to social media, right? I don't really know them. I'm gonna put that out there right now. I don't know them. I don't know the different tropes for social media, but the general one I keep hearing about Facebook, at least, is that it's not really for a place for like deep philosophical conversations. I've noticed that, and that's okay. Not my place then, because that's what I want to do. I want to have or ask a question or have a dialogue of something or a monologue of something I've said, and then like kind of have like a back and forth and like kind of learn that way in like a non-hostile sort of way. Positive learning, growth, good connection kind of thing. But like Facebook is not that. You will get laughed at or screamed at or taken completely out of context, and that's okay. Not really the place to have those conversations, and it's like, I don't know, the place you go to be funny and or entertaining. And I like Reddit for that. What, Reddit or Twitter X? I like Twitter X because of the formatting. Facebook has a lot of ads now, and yes, I'm aware I pay for the yearly subscription of Twitter X. Don't worry about that. That was a social experiment of my own, which is going kind of interestingly. I do like having the ability to consider writing articles amongst the other weird, like, lack of advertisement things. And plus it was like a deal, like a pretty good steal for like 1 year. I won't completely justify that. At the same time, I also like learning and trying new things, and FAFO. So I have done that. Results kind of what I expected, but not really, and fruitful in a way I didn't expect. That's my take on the social media premium X thing. If you don't believe in giving money to subscriptions and social services like that, then don't do that. If you don't really care and you are tired of advertisements, I'd say it's almost worth it in a way. We're in a weird age now where most things in luxury are a subscription. Adobe is now a subscription. It wasn't always. Not that it was ever really that great. There are better services now, like DaVinci. But, yeah, nope. That there are just some things that I tend to kind of avoid now. I'm able to have more philosophical conversations on, like, Twitter X, Discord, Twitter X, Reddit, like, even kind of, in a way, Instagram-ish and TikTok-ish, but, like, Facebook, not the place to be deep. Or at least I don't have the friend group, friend feed. I don't know how Facebook works anymore. I, like, abandoned it almost. And honestly, for good measure, I think, because I hate the level of advertisements that Facebook throws at me. And there's not really a way to get rid of that, except for, I think, also doing the same thing with Twitter X and paying. I'm good. Meta gets enough of my data. It does not need my financial gains too. I live on Twitter X and Reddit and TikTok, Substack-ish, YouTube, and real life a little bit more. Reading, I like that more than social media. Talking to actual people while waiting in line, I like that more than staring at my phone. It's stuff I've come to find I like more. I'm probably one of those, like, social media black sheeps. Like, I understand the use and need for social media, and I'm trying to utilize it in a way that actually benefits me and those around me, and not, like, the social media. Not the app. Not the data that the app collects, because that's where I start having problems. When my data and your data starts getting collected, and when we're fed advertisement after advertisement instead of each other's posts, and bot accounts. There are so many bots on Facebook. I mean, there are on TikTok too, but on Facebook I feel like it's relentless. You should see my message requests. That's a fun game, actually. We should play that one sometime soon. I would very much like to go back to DeviantArt, but anytime I've tried, I think I've run into, like, the advertisement problem. That's why I'm kind of thinking of trying the other ones, but there's so many, like, push and pulls about different social medias and how their user interface looks, or, like, the level of, like, conversations and stuff that you can have in places. And I'm like, I'm trying to go where the people are to have conversations and, like, learn and, like, experience things together. Not, like, I guess, as I've said, echo chamber and, like scream at each other back and forth, because that's not productive and that's not conducive to a healthy environment. I am okay, thank you on that one. I would like to caution other people on staying away from that too. But autonomy is kind of a thing, and that's kind of important here, so you are welcome to do as you wish. Just please be mindful that the waters we tread online are very weird and not safe all the time. I'd like to change that. Excuse me, frog is still in my throat. Allergy season in summer is like my worst season. It's not the spring, it's the summer when everything starts dying because it's 110. I intended this one to be kind of a short episode, kind of like talking about why I use social media now. And why I use social media now is kind of like, so I know I've touched on it before, but excuse me, pause button, I can fix this. Alright, sorry about that, we're back. Hopefully the frog is gone, but I kind of wanted to talk about, like, in this episode, why I started social media, my opinions on social media, how I don't think it really helps any of us, and how I think it could. Let's also leave that on, like, a positive note here too. Like, it could work too. I see the mission, I see the vision, I see the idea, the potential, the possibility, and I know they say don't fall in love with potential, but I'm sorry, honey, I'm falling all the way in love with potential many times over, and I will keep doing that. Thank you very much. Nope, frog's still back. And, let's see. Facebook is kind of more for memories and documentation of the process because of the memory function on Facebook. My memories over the last 7 to 10 years have been interesting. I've laughed a lot. A younger version of myself was really stupid. Holy crap. I'm still stupid. Let's be clear. But less. Still stupid, but less. Put that on a t-shirt, if it isn't already. Let's see, what have I had? Well, I have what I had, how I started, where I started. DeviantArt, Flickr. Have I said I've been on Flickr before? That was something I created my freshman year, I think. Freshman or sophomore. That would be 2014 or 15. So I am still on social media, as I said, because I see the potential and I believe in the potential, and I do think it could be an actually good tool that we could use to better ourselves in society. I think it's a great way to connect like we haven't before. I feel like we've kind of lost the plot on instant communication. I've lost the plot myself before on that one. I don't think it's being used correctly. As a matter of fact, I think social media is using us more than we're using it. I think that's kind of a common consensus. If you have a different belief or an idea, feel free to comment below. Or on your respective medium on YouTube and or Spotify. However, I want to ask you a question. When was the last time you felt happy online? And you weren't fed a bunch of garbage that was like ads or bot accounts or, I guess, if it's a tool for happiness and dopamine, why are we sad while using it? There's a lot of questions I would like to consider on this one, so again, comment your responses below. What social media do you think I should get? At some point, I will end up on Blue Sky, and maybe Threads, especially since it keeps advertising itself to me in my notifications. And I will see you guys next time for episode 49 of the Digital Quill podcast. This was episode 48 of the Digital Quill podcast with your host Mars Wilson, where we talked about social media, my opinions on it, which, mind you, might be very strong, and also the various social medias I've had and why. We didn't really go into too much depth, but I wanted to keep today's episode short, so thank you for tuning in. I hope on some level I was able to teach, inspire, motivate, or entertain you. Thank you for giving me your time, and thank you for letting me share my time with you. I will see you next time. As always, humans of Earth, keep going, don't stop, and we'll get through this together. Bye now.